Episode 6 Kunti. A very warm welcome to all the listeners. This is your host Madhulika Chauhan, and you're listening to the episodic version of the great epic of Mahabharat. Kunti, or Pritha, was the daughter of Shursen and the foster daughter of his cousin Kunti Bhoj. She was the aunt of Krishna and was married to the king Pandu of Hastinapur. She was the mother of Karna and Pandavas, including Yudhishthir, Bhim, Arjun. She was the paternal aunt of Krishna, Balram and Subhadra, and she was the foster mother of Nakul and Sahadev. The one event in Kunti's life which happened in the childish curiosity of youth gave her perhaps the biggest guilt. It so happened that Rishi Durvasa, known for his anger and inability to curse, came to stay in Kunti Bhoj's palace. Knowing the agreeable nature of his child Kunti, the king sent his daughter to take care of the sage. The sage tested the patience of the child Kunti and was greatly taken by her prudence. Sage Durvasa, being a seer, saw the hardships Kunti would face in the future and blessed her with the Vashikaran mantra to be used to have a child with any celestial being, cautioning her on the use of the same only at the time of need. The impatient curiosity of youth made Kunti test then and there the efficacy of the mantra by repeating it and invoking the sun, whom she saw shining in the heavens. At once, the sky grew dark with clouds, and under cover of them, the sun god approached the beautiful princess Kunti and stood gazing at her with ardent admiration. Kunti, overpowered by the glorious vision of her divine visitor, asked, "Who are you?" The sun replied, "My dear maiden, I am the sun. I have been drawn to you by the spell of the sun-giving mantra that you have uttered." Kunti was aghast and said, "I am an unwedded girl dependent on my father. I am not fit for motherhood and do not desire it. I merely wish to test the power of the boon granted by the sage Durvasa. Please go back and forgive this childish folly of mine." But the sun god could not thus return because of the power of the mantra held him. She, for her part, was mortally afraid of being blamed by the world. The sun god, however, reassured her that she would regain her maidenhood even after bearing the son. Kunti conceived by the grace of the sun. She gave birth to Karna, who was born with divine armor and earrings and was bright and beautiful like the sun. In time, he became one of the greatest heroes in the world. Kunti then took the most accursed decision of her life, to set adrift her son, her firstborn Karna, down the river Ashwa. But she regretted abandoning her child in silent grief and guilt. When she did speak of that years later, it was rather too late and the die of death had been cast. Kunti Bhoj organized Kunti Swamvar. Kunti chose King Pandu of Hastinapur, making her the queen of Hastinapur. Soon after, during his mission to expand his empire, Pandu married Madri, a princess of Madara, in order to secure the vassalage of Madara. Pandu, while hunting in a forest, mistakenly shot and killed Rishi Kindamma and his wife, as they had taken the form of deer to mate. The dying sage placed a curse on Pandu, since he had not only killed them in the midst of lovemaking, but was also not remorseful of his actions. Sage Kindama cursed him to die if he ever should become intimate with his wife. Pandu renounced the kingdom and went into exile with Kunti and Madri. He met some sages and asked them a way for the heaven and salvation. They said, "Without children, one can never aspire for heaven." When Pandu expressed to Kunti his despair at the prospect of dying childless, she mentioned the boon granted to her. He advised her to beget children by suitable illustrious men. Thus, Kunti used the boon granted by sage Durvasa to bear 3 sons: Yudhishthir by Dharma, the god of justice, Bhim by Vayu, god of wind, and Arjun by Indra, the god of Swarga or heaven. She also invoked Ashwini Kumars for Madhuri on her behest, and Madhuri gave birth to twin sons Nakul and Sahadev. One day, Pandu, forgetting his curse, attempted to get close to his wife Madhuri, but as a result of Kindama's curse, he died. Madhuri committed sati as she was the cause of his death. Kunti was left helpless in the forest with her children. After the death of Pandu and Madhuri, Kunti took care of all 5 Pandava children, taking them back to Hastinapur. As the rivalry culminated between Pandavas and Kauravas, she decided to go back to Kunti Bhoj, however stopped at the behest of Bhishma. After the Kurukshetra war, Kunti moved to the forest near the Himalayas with her brother-in-law Vidur and Dhritarashtra and sister-in-law Gandhari, where all 4 of them later perished in a forest fire, attaining heaven. In Mahabharat, Kunti comes across as a brave and a wise woman, grievously hurt and disappointed in love. She was not a woman cast in the conventional mold. She was rather lonely, fighting to protect her sons amidst this encircling treachery and hatred. She had the wisdom to educate her sons in proper use of power. She guided them along the path of dharma. She was not merely anticipated war, but willed it to happen in order to regain honor and the lost kingdom for her sons. Towards that end, she built and sustained political alliances with foresight and sagacity. She had the wisdom to recede from active scene when it was prudent to do so. When her mission was accomplished, she had the detachment and strength of mind to renounce the fruits of her efforts and to walk away to forest into the fire. With this, we come to an end to today's episode on the great epic of Mahabharat. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy and stay healthy always. Narayan, Narayan.